Order! Order! This next topic is the first topic where students that are introduced to federal income taxation learn that federal income tax is not so bright line, not so black and white. This is the topic of gross income. You're going to learn that gross income is all income from whatever source derived, as defined by Congress. The textbook, as well as other information, is going to say that gross income includes all income. And it's going to leave you puzzled, thinking, what exactly is gross income? What goes into these things? Well, that's where the three aspects, the three areas of government come into play. With respect to the three areas of U.S. government, you've got Congress, the legislative branch, which is in charge of writing the tax law, the initial tax law under the Constitution. You've also got the executive branch, which we have the IRS and the Department of Treasury, which enforce and interpret tax law. And finally, you've got the judicial branch, right? Order, that interprets tax law even further. So what you see is that gross income has, since the beginning of the income tax law, its continuous income tax law, been defined as all income from whatever source is derived. Basically, Congress went the full extent allowed by the Constitution. If you look at the Constitution of the U.S., you'll see in the 16th Amendment that language, from whatever source derived, it gets brought over by Congress into the definition of gross income. That's where we get that language. So basically, Congress wanted to allow the full extent to define broadly what is gross income. And again, it's income from whatever source is derived. Again, as a student that's learning about tax law for the first time, you say, okay, well, does that mean everything is gross income? Not necessarily. The courts have came in through various decisions. One decision in particular, known as Glenshaw Glass, and they provide, through interpretation, so the U.S. Supreme Court, ways to better interpret that definition of gross income. Looking at things like an accession of wealth, clearly realized and having dominion and control. We're going to talk about those things in this topic, but it's important to keep your mind open because when you first understand this rule and see this rule of whatever source derived, all income from whatever source derived, again, you will be confused. That happens to every student when they first learn about gross income. Keep your head up. We're going to learn further again that there is a more interpreted definition of that, and it will help you. We'll look at some examples, and it's really going to help your understanding. But keep that in mind. Let's go to work.